Welcome back to Epicenter. I'm Mark Halfmoon. Tonight, I'm here in the studio with public artist Kirby Scudder. Kirby is responsible for a project that happens every year called Nightlight. You want to tell us a little bit about Nightlight, Kirby, and what you're actually doing and why?
Sure. Nightlight is a project that we've just completed our second year. It's a project for peace. It's a community vigil where we get together for one night, September 21st, which is International Peace Day. What we've done in the past is bring lights out to West Cliff and the boardwalk and the wharf. And what we've asked the community to do is come out and celebrate with us with this peace vigil, using lights as a sort of conduit for us together in a quiet vigil way to talk about the issue of peace.
It's part of an International Peace Day celebration, isn't it?
That's right. September 21st is International Peace Day, founded in 2001 by the United Nations. A young man from Australia back in 1999 for this, what we have is we have celebrations for Valentine's Day, all these other holidays, but nothing that celebrates peace. And he was able to convince the UN to basically create an International Peace Day where there are ceasefires around the world in war-torn zones, where people can come in and bring medication, rebuild schools, and all those things without the fear of being shot in war zones. So, really important day around the world.
It seems like a positive sort of thing to do, putting up the lights. What do you actually get? You have one of the lights here.
Yeah, I've got one of these. We have 500 of these we bought 2 years ago. These are 15 million candle power spotlights, and they're battery powered. They're very low wattage, so it doesn't take a lot of electricity to charge these. And what we've done is pointed these up into the sky, straight beams going up every 25 feet, and then we've asked the community to come out and turn them on for us at 9 o'clock at night. And it's been an amazing event. We had roughly 20,000 people last year. We just completed one last week. We had probably about 5,000 people out there. Just an incredible event for people to come together in a really quiet way to celebrate the issue of peace. A very important issue.
Well, these lights, they look kind of expensive. How did you raise funds to get 500 of these big lights?
No, we were really lucky. Two patrons, Joe and Debbie Quigg, who've been big supporters of the arts here, bought these for us last year, and we now own them, and we're using them every year for what's going to be an annual event. We're going to do it again next year. We're hoping to expand it down to Monterey, do all of Monterey Bay next year. The point is to basically have a visual symbol for our solidarity about this very, very important issue. And so we're just trying to bring community together.
Well, this lights up the coast along West Cliff Drive. Are there other communities that have caught on to this nightlight idea?
Well, there are a lot of people that the former Soviet Union, Russia, to Germany, all around the United States. Ironically, this year, Yoko Ono is actually building a lights statue in honor of John Lennon. The light seems to be something that a lot of people are using as a metaphor for us coming together in communion about this issue.
Well, it's not exactly, as you're saying, it's not exactly a protest piece. It's something, it seems to be something proactive toward touching people. What kind of responses have you gotten from people who've participated or just merely seen the exhibit?
Very, very powerful. I mean, people have come out from the ages of 2 to 82, and it's really been an event that's unified people in a lot of ways. We're now taking an action like a protest. Protests have sort of taken a different turn in the last 10 years around the world. I'm sure everybody's heard about the monks that happened in China last week. We're not doing that. What we're doing is something that really begins the conversation, and hopefully that conversation leads to something more powerful in the future, more actionable items.
Okay, Kirby, a lot of people would say, we're in the throes of war. There may be a war with Iran. What good does putting up a bunch of lights do? I mean, how does that, it seems like it may seem kind of passive to some people.
Sure. Well, it's not passive by any means. It's really the beginning of a conversation. Peace is a process. It's not a thing that you ever really accomplish. There is no point where you get to the finish line and say, we've created peace. If it's not part of our dialogue, if it's not part of something that we're doing on an active basis, just like filling up your car with gas, your car doesn't run unless it's filled with gas. This is a project that is about bringing people together. I mean, I grew up in the 1960s where public opinion really influenced what happened in politics. I'm very frustrated as a person right now that people are really taking for granted where we're at geopolitically around the world, and we are engaged all around the world, the United States of America, in conflict. And so I'm frustrated. Yes, Nightlight is just one project, shines lights into the sky to use it as a conduit to bring people together. But the reality is that once Nightlight is over, we haven't solved anything. We need to move on. And so I personally want to do things that are actionable, that we can actually take firm action about where we're headed as a nation, where the world is headed. I mean, there is conflict in Northern Africa, there's conflict in Asia right now, all throughout, Persia and the Middle East is about to explode. What we all need to do is really spend some time devoted to that issue. And so Nightlight is just one piece of it. I have some ideas for next year that I want to put together a peace summit where we bring groups and organizations together where we have a real dialogue about this issue. It's not like it was in the 60s where it's about tie-dyed shirts and love-ins. I mean, that stuff is great. But the reality is we're in the hardcore threshold of conflict around the world. And whatever we can do to resolve that, we need to be doing that.
2006 was the scene of local artist Kirby Scudder's first Nightlight event. Thousands of Santa Cruz County residents helped Kirby light up the night sky with 500 spotlights placed along Santa Cruz's West Cliff Drive. This year, the project focused on illuminating the area between the city's two lighthouses. Epicenter producer Peter McGettigan has been documenting the project over the last 2 years.
14th. Today's September 14th. I'm 7 days out from Nightlight. And we are here in front of Trader Joe's, and right across the street over there, in about 10 minutes, based on my non-existent watch, is a truck that's going to pull up with the 500 lights that we're going to be using out on West Cliff next Thursday. So this is a big moment. Big moment in all this. $17,000 worth of lights. The total weight is about 7,000 pounds. They're not here yet. They said they're going to be here at 1 o'clock. So I'm out here waiting. Okay, I'll call you the minute they're here. All right, bye.
Who was that?
Emily Riley.
How's she involved?
I couldn't do this project without Emily.
Yeah.
Emily has helped me work with all the city departments that I needed permissions. I have a permit. That was huge. Without the permit, there would be no project. She's helped me secure 250 vests from Caltrans. She's introduced me to people who've been incredibly supportive, financially and otherwise. Oh my God, the list is just endless of the things that she's done for this project.
It's going to be fabulous. So I'm ready if you are. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Well, what we're going to do is there's, I think, 34 lights per pallet. So we're going to unload the 11 pallets off the truck, put them inside the former Ace Hardware. Then we'll have to unpack all of them, start charging them, and then during the next 7 days, I'm going to hand sign every one of them and number them. This is the craziest thing I've ever done. This is a huge project, and the reason it's huge is not just the logistics of the 500 lights. I mean, that's a manageable task. But what it is, I'm inviting the entire community to be a part of this project. I mean, that's the key to this whole thing, is that the community comes out in force, in solidarity about the issue of peace. And I've never done anything that large before. It's a big responsibility, asking everybody in this community to come out.
So where are you taking these?
West Cliff? I don't know exactly how far West Cliff, but some distance.
Is this your first trip, or have you done another trip?
No, this is the first trip right here. I think this is everyone's first trip. Pretty sure.
So I've got 5 o'clock. The supervisor's going to show up. I need to talk to them briefly, and then I'm out of here. I'm going to meet Emily out at Natural Bridges with the Women's Rise Group. Okay. We are exactly at, what time is it? It's
5:38.
5:38. So in about 20 minutes, we're going to see how many people show up at the first staging area, and how many people may already be out at West Cliff at this point. You know, and it's great to be in a situation where you can dream a dream and see it fulfilled, and we're about to fulfill a dream, and include a lot of other people. So obviously, we had a common chord with a lot of people. I mean, obviously, this is a shared dream of a lot of people to do things like this, and you know, it shouldn't just happen once a year, but that's about as much as effort as I can put into something. But hopefully it'll spawn people to go out and do something themselves. I mean, that's really what this is all about, is action.
think this is pretty incredible. You know, I was called by the Associated Press today. They want to make sure to get pictures because people have heard about this all over the country. So, you know, I think, you know, I've said it before, but I don't think there's anyone but Kirby who could make this happen in this way. And he's someone who dreams big, and unlike other big dreamers, he actually knows how to make things happen. So I think hopefully this amazing event will happen here tonight, and then you know, next year we'll be seeing it bigger, maybe the whole Santa Cruz County coastline, and year after that maybe the whole California.
You know, last year was the first time event.
Right.
So I think there's a kind of excitement and, you know, kind of a, what is this thing all about, excitement, you know, as we're moving to make this an annual event. And what I'm really moving towards is having the community on this. But what we're really trying to do is, you know, ideally, and I said this yesterday to some folks, ideally I'd like to see this, you know, 5 years from now that I'm not even involved. I mean, I'd be involved in support of it, but it really gets taken over by the community, and this becomes their event, whatever that looks like. I mean, year one was, you know, I buy 500 lights, I put them out, you know, it's my kind of, you know, logistical orchestration. But what's really going to make this powerful is going to be when it becomes its own entity for this community. Yeah, baby.
Looks like a nice night. No rain.
Oh, it's gorgeous, man. No rain.
There was fear of that.
Thank you for coming in.
Kirby, you made it. Welcome. Nightlight 2007, everybody.
That's what we're talking about.
So it's lighthouse to lighthouse.
It's lighthouse to lighthouse. There's the lighthouse. That's going to go on when it's dark.
Is this your station?
This is my station.
All
Yes,
right.
it is.
Is this the first time you've done this, or were you here last year?
I was here as a spectator last year.
Oh, so now you're a participant.
I'm a participant. Yeah, you
Cool.
bet. This
Are
is
you-
exciting.
Hopefully this will be a Santa Cruz tradition.
Well, it already is. This is our second year.
All right, there you go.
You're right. It's going to be a Santa Cruz tradition. But, you know, I was just thinking it would be wonderful if maybe next year Monterey lit up. Wouldn't that be great? And then maybe next year after that, maybe the whole bay lit up with light.
That would be cool.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, you know.
Yeah.
But for right now, Santa Cruz, they've got to catch up to us.
All right. We're on the cutting edge.
We're the cutting edge. As usual,
Yeah.
somebody's got to do it. And I guess it's us.